Well, after a soggy weekend for southern Minnesota, some rivers are rising yet again, and we've got fire risk for northern Minnesota, but a beautiful stretch of weather here for the first part of this week. So just a ton of rain here over the last 7 days and over the course of the weekend, mostly just south and west of the Twin Cities and right on top of the Minnesota River watershed here. In fact, right around the Comfrey area, a bullseye of 8 inches of rainfall over the last 7 days. So that means rivers are going up here. The Cottonwood River at New Ulm, which feeds into the Minnesota River, has gone up 11 feet in the last several days. At its peak now and will drop through the week, but that water's going to make it through the system, going up another 8 feet in Jordan, the Minnesota River, and then eventually to the Mississippi. St. Paul, the Mississippi there will go up another 6 feet over the course of the next several days. So river levels have dropped, they're going back up, and our snowmelt from the spring has now reached Louisiana, the Mississippi down there. Yeah, all those river gauges are going to be going up and then coming back down early next week, so into the Gulf of Mexico. Our snowmelt will finally arrive next week. Northern Minnesota has the opposite problem. Of course, the green up, always behind southern Minnesota. So dry, windy, warm weather today and tomorrow is going to lead to potentially increased fire danger risk. There is going to be more wind in northern Minnesota too. Some wind gusts of 15, 20 miles an hour. Not quite red flag criteria because the wind isn't going to be as strong as it would be, but it is going to be very dry, and of course it's not as green yet. So by the afternoon, relative humidity levels dropping into the just 10 to 15% range for northern Minnesota. So that's why they have that increased fire risk. They didn't get the rain that we had over the weekend, so it is just considerably drier overall. High pressure sitting overhead, really across the upper Midwest, keeping us in lots of sunshine today. Still some lingering clouds into far southern Minnesota and moisture down across Nebraska, Kansas, Iowa, and Missouri. But for most of Minnesota, pretty nice. Mid 70s in the Twin Cities, low 80s in northern Minnesota, just like over the weekend. Warmer north where there'll be more sun, and then you notice cooler in the southernmost counties of the state where they'll have a little bit more cloud cover. But tomorrow, sunshine statewide, should pop into the low 80s for most of central Minnesota, including the Twin Cities. And we'll start to see a southeast breeze kick in along Lake Superior, dropping the temperatures there a little bit. Next weather maker is a clipper system coming through with a cold front. That's going to touch off some showers, some thunderstorms Thursday, maybe some lingering showers near the low here as we head into Friday. More clouds, probably cooler too, just highs in the 60s on Friday. But we're not talking about a lot of rainfall here. Luckily, about ½ inch or less for southern Minnesota, which is good. We do not need any more, especially to the southwest. This time maybe a little more in northeastern Minnesota with that system. And then, as I mentioned, it will be cooler behind that front, mostly 60s for highs statewide on Friday. Normal high now is 70 in the Twin Cities by Wednesday, kicking off a 130-day streak of high temperatures at average at least 70 or higher. And we're going to finally time out a gorgeous weekend for a change. We've had a trace of precip every weekend since late March. Sunshine both Saturday and Sunday should be in the low 70s, just about perfect and seasonable coming up this weekend. A couple of nice days today and tomorrow too, but of course during the work and school week. 76 today, 81 tomorrow. We'll see a few clouds pop up Wednesday ahead of that system. Thursday, Friday again, unsettled, but not really soaking wet. And then there's that gorgeous weekend coming up.